today's interesting topic. Let's start the show.
So Trump just announced that there's going to be a 100% tariff on all imported pharmaceuticals starting October 1st. So, I already pay $530 a month for health insurance because I'm self-employed and I need to get the regular Vyvanse, not the generic. And so even though I'm paying $530 a month for health insurance, my Vyvanse is still $60 a month. I can't pay for it out of pocket because it's like $400 to $500. So that $400 to $500 medication is now going to be $800 to $1,000. So, sorry, my Alexa went off. But anyways, what does that mean for me? Is it going to be $120 a month instead of $60? And that's just for one of my medications. One. Wasn't it like last month or something that he said that pharmaceutical costs were going down? Yay, it's just like I'm barely getting by, barely can live, and like at this point it's like I'm just gonna be poor, but I'll be sane at least. Maybe if I'm sane I can make more money somehow. At this point, I'm taking applications for like anyone with good health insurance. If you want to become, you want to get into a domestic partnership with me, I can bake you cookies like once a week, once a day, whatever you need for me to get on that health insurance, okay?
Raising tariffs on pharmaceuticals in a country where medications are already unaffordable is a death sentence. People are going to die. Listen to me when I say that. As a mom of children who need lots of expensive medication and lots of expensive health care, people are going to die. People are already making choices between going to the emergency department or paying their electric, buying their EpiPens or getting some eggs and milk. This is already a thing that's happening. It's already unaffordable and it's going to get more so. This is a death sentence. Are you guys mad yet? Like, this is insane. This is inequity. This is healthcare for the rich and not for the poor. This is eugenics. I don't know what else I can tell you guys. You need to be angry.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but Trump just slapped 100% tariffs on life-sustaining medications. Starting October 1st, every branded or patented medication imported into the U.S. will get hit with a 100% tariff unless the company is building its factories here. That means prices for prescriptions you or your family depend on are about to skyrocket. And here's some more brutal truth. Many Americans will no longer be able to afford their life-sustaining medications. For some people, reaching for a generic just isn't an option. Stocks for medication makers in Asia already tanked. Australia is furious because they sell over $1 billion in meds to the US, and the EU, they rushed to remind Trump that their trade deal caps medication tariffs at 15%. So allies are protected, but American patients are left holding the bag. This isn't about national security. This is about gambling with people's lives. When patients are forced to skip doses or ration medication, it's not just bad policy. It can be a death sentence for some of the most vulnerable people in this country. So if your life depends on a prescription, this tariff is coming for you. So the question is now, how much longer are we willing to let politicians put our lives on the line?
So Donald Trump has announced that there's going to be 100% tariffs on prescription medications that are made internationally. And I've got news for everyone who is celebrating this. Almost all of our pharmaceuticals are made internationally because that's where the plants are. That's where the manufacturing is. And you can encourage companies to relocate their manufacturing all you want, but the fact of the matter is that takes years, sometimes decades, to relocate. So that medication that you need might now no longer cost $100, it will cost $200. And I don't know about you, but I don't think a lot of people are choosing the pharmaceuticals that they're taking. These are things that are saving our lives or drastically improving the quality of our lives to the point where we need them. So I don't understand how punishing U.S. consumers, sick individuals, or people who need prescription medications helps incentivize anything besides lining the pockets of Trump and his cronies. Because you are the one paying those tariffs, not the companies where they're coming from. So it might be an import tariff on China, but you're the one paying that. And your bills are going.
Breaking news, tariffs could raise the prices of these 10 grocery items. Number 10 is seafood. Number 9, coffee. We all know we get our coffee from all over the world. Ethiopian coffee is actually my favorite. Number 8, fruit. Number 7, alcohol. Number 6, we got beef. And I'm like, beef is already expensive enough. Let's just bring the price down to that. I'm trying to have a steak more often. Number 5 is rice. All right, it'll go up to 4 cents a pound. Number 4, cheese. Number 3, we got nuts, and that's just nuts. Number 2, we got chocolate. Now, chocolate, the industry is really flawed altogether. There's a lot of problems there that need to be solved, and it all comes from child labor, basically. All them little kids picking cocoa beans for Willy Wonka. If you like this list and want more about other nonsense, follow me. Leave me a comment with your thoughts on the tariffs raising grocery prices. Do you think the tariffs are a good idea in the long run or a bad idea? Also follow my wife, Samantha. Number 1, we got
Are you thinking about stocking up before Trump's tariffs drive up the price? Here are some everyday items that might be in danger of higher prices. So if you've noticed the price of things going up lately, you might want to brace yourself for even higher costs. President-elect Donald Trump has proposed a new set of tariffs that could affect everything from electronics to food. But what exactly are tariffs and how will they impact your wallet? Let's break it down. Simply put, a tariff is a tax on imported goods. When goods come into the United States from another country, the government charges a tariff to make them more expensive. This is meant to encourage people to buy goods made in the United States instead, which does help local businesses but can make imported items cost more for consumers. Trump has proposed a broad tariff plan that includes a 10 to 20% tariff on all imported goods from other countries, a 60% to 100% tariff on goods imported from China. These tariffs are part of his strategy to reduce the U.S. trade deficit and encourage companies to bring more production back to the United States. The tariffs would impact a wide variety of products, including many everyday items that you might use. Here's a breakdown by category to help you better understand. Electronics, such as gaming laptops, prices could increase by up to 45%. If you're thinking of buying one soon, it could go from $1,000 to $1,450. Gaming consoles, expect a 40% price increase as many of the consoles are made in China. Monitors, prices could rise by about 31%. Clothing and textiles are included too. Clothes and shoes. Many clothing brands import from overseas, and these tariffs could cause prices to go up by 10% to 25%. Jeans, t-shirts, and sneakers, popular items in everyday clothing, could get more expensive. Household goods like furniture that is imported could see a price hike of up to 20%. Appliances, so items like refrigerators, washing machines, and microwaves may also rise in price due to higher tariffs on metals and electronic components. Food and beverages imported. If you're a fan of exotic fruits or snacks from abroad, be prepared for price increases due to tariffs on imports, especially if the goods are coming from China. So canned foods and beverages are included as well. Imported beverages and canned food might also cost more. Depending on the item, consumers can see prices increase anywhere from 10% to 45%. For electronics like gaming laptops and consoles, this means a jump in price by hundreds of dollars. For everyday goods like clothing and household items, expect a smaller increase, but still noticeable. At first glance, tariffs may seem like a way to bring more money into the United States, but they also have a downside. With higher tariffs, consumers will face higher prices on many products. For the average family, this could mean paying more for things that they need and want, whether it's a new laptop, some fresh fruit, or even a new pair of shoes. The extra costs could add up quickly, making it harder for working class families to budget and save. And here's where the irony comes in, right? Many people voted for President-elect Trump in the hopes of lowering prices on everyday items. But with these proposed tariffs, those same voters might soon find themselves paying way more for the very products that they rely on. The promise of lower costs might seem to be backfiring, as the tariffs could have the opposite effect and leave many consumers with higher bills. So, now that you know what...
Here's a list of imported household goods that may be impacted by tariffs. Probably impacted by tariffs. Off the top of my head, no particular order. Don't argue with me in the comments. I go. AAA and AA batteries, especially rechargeable ones. Eyewear, glasses, and contacts. Over-the-counter pain medication, acetaminophen, and ibuprofen. Garbage bags, generic Ziploc bags. Generic canning lids, light bulbs. Sneakers, footwear in general. Especially if you have kids, try to grab the next size up. And whatever you're going to send them in for back to school, grab those now. If you live up north, winter boots for those kids too. My personal favorite, Crocs. They're multi-seasonal and they last forever. They're very forgiving with size too. If you need more vacuum seal bags or like the big roll, I'm pretty sure those are imported. If you have anything specific that you're gonna get your kids for their birthday or for Christmas, get that now. And if you're worried about not being able to get anything at all, get something little so that they definitely have something to open. Toys are going to be heavily impacted by these tariffs. There's going to be major shortages and the prices are going to be outrageous. Backpacks for back to school, if your kids don't reuse them every year, most of those are from China. Don't fight people for toilet paper, just get a bidet. It's time to make the switch. And while you're at it, get some reusable paper towels. Be sure you have a sewing kit, maybe some shoe glue, some duct tape, electrical tape for some DIY home repairs. Maybe some extra fluids for your vehicle just in case. Make a list, prioritize it, start working on it so that you don't get overwhelmed, but get your butt in gear.
You know, I'm not political at all, but now that I know that like the tariffs or whatever is a big deal and people were complaining about it, what the fuck is this? I ordered a package and it was coming from, I guess, London, but they were like, oh yeah, you have to make a payment. So I'm like, all right, like it must be like $10 or something. Like, all right, not a big deal. What the fuck is this? You expect me to pay that? Government charges, brokerage charges. You know, honestly, I would have paid the brokerage charges. I would have paid it, but like, so my package isn't getting delivered. Like, it's in my vicinity. Like, I can drive and go get it right now from the warehouse. But like, am I not able to get my package now because I have to pay $587? Give me my money back. Give me it back. Give me it back. It's never that serious. They think I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, just pay $587. Yeah. And yeah. Are you fucking dumb? My package wasn't even that much. Like, I'm finna, oh yeah, let me just get my card. Yeah, let me just, okay, let me put in my card. Yes, and we paid, what? Like, what? It's already in the United States. Why didn't y'all say that before y'all shipped it from London to like, it's already here. Give me my money back. Yes. Okay, they accept the pay. Okay, it's on the way. It's on. Go fast, boy.
So Trump is continually bragging about how his tariff policy is bringing in, this exorbitant amount of money that it's never pulled in before. And yes, it is. There are record high tariffs coming into the country, somewhere around $200 billion this year alone. But the thing is, he's talking about it like it's personally landing in our bank accounts. Like every time he collects a tariff, you and I are getting some sort of a deposit, and we're not friends. I know you know that, but I don't think the red hats truly do, so I really think we should discuss it. Our taxes aren't lowered. If you're a blue collar worker, if you live below the poverty line, you're getting fucked. 100% getting fucked. Our grocery bills are going higher, not lower, no matter what he tells you. And I know you red hats see it. You'd be dumb not to, unless you've never checked the cost of your grocery bill. Workers are being laid off in droves. So while billionaires and trillion-dollar corporations are the ones getting their tariffs reduced through loopholes and exemptions, we're getting fucked. Tariffs are like a tax. Taxes you pay when you buy anything that uses imported material. So when Trump slaps a tariff on steel or electronics or car parts, the companies that make your appliances and vehicles have to pay more. And guess what happens? Do you think they eat that cost? Do you think that they just go, oh, we could never pass that cost hike on to our customers? No, they pass it right over to you. So yes, you pay the tariff. Since April, over 42,000 manufacturing jobs have vanished. 12,000 in August alone. Those are real people losing paychecks because of his trade war and jacked up costs. Meanwhile, Yale Budget Lab found Trump's tariffs are driving up inflation. Driving it up. Prices are rising about 1.8% overall. Cars are up 12%. Clothing 37%. And here's what's even worse. The Wharton School says that these tariffs will shrink the economy by 6% and drop your wages by 5%. That's like $22,000 in lost income for the average middle-class family. So yeah, he's raking in the money. The tariffs are really rolling in, but you're not getting it. I'm not getting it. Your family's not getting it. Your town's not getting it. It's not going into your paycheck. It's going to billionaires, defense contractors, and politicians who profit off of this division, and we have got to shut it down. He's out here selling an illusion of wealth, friends, but the only people cashing in are the ones who already have too much.
We have some big news right now. UPS has begun throwing out thousands of packages coming into the United States from international countries, according to NBC News, because of Donald Trump's tariffs and customs requirements that simply aren't being met. So essentially, thousands of packages coming from China and elsewhere are currently being held up in customs at various processing facilities across the United States. And while it's not getting any easier, there are lots of changes, lots of confusing things happening, lots of confusing paperwork because of tariffs and because of just trade policy by this administration. And so as a result, UPS has just begun marking a number of packages just to dispose, which means that you may not get your package. So if you lose a package that's coming from overseas and it just never shows up at your door because of this, now you know why. This is just the beginning of impacts from Donald Trump's tariffs policies, so just get ready, spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, as always, linked in bio, so subscribe for free. Follow along for all the news.
Walmart warned us, and now they've done it. Walmart just jacked up their prices, and I have the list right over here. Some everyday essentials up 50% almost overnight. The company is blaming President Trump's tariffs. Let's break it down for you right here. CNBC tracked the prices of the same items on May 20th and then on July 7th, same items. A 12-piece pot and pan set from Drew Barrymore's line used to be $99, now $149. That's a 51% price jump. A Graco stroller went from $199 up to $299. That's another 50% spike since May. Even basic kitchen stuff like a nonstick fry pan up 28%. Coffee, bad news there. Folgers Classic Roast is up 17%. Dunkin', depending on the size, up to 9 and 11%. Milk, too. The cheap store brand, great value, up across the board. Whole milk, 2%, 1% milk, all cost more. Even men's jeans, Levi's Signature, ticked up. This is the time to go bulk grocery shop on anything you can store or freeze. This is going to get worse before it gets better. I have money-saving tips every day. Make sure to follow me here and sign up for my free Rossum Reports newsletter on Substack as well. The link is...
Thousands of international packages that were expected to come to the United States are currently in limbo. And you guessed it, it's happening because of the tariffs that have recently gone into effect. Some packages aren't just lost, but they're damaged when they finally make it to their final destination. This is happening because of the long-standing tariff exemption ending, meaning nearly everything coming in and from other countries, no matter the price, faces a tariff, duty, and fee. And as you can imagine, that's having a huge impact. About 90% of the packages do clear, but because of the new regulation, we're seeing many packages that are unable to clear customs due to missing or incomplete information. UPS is trying to do their due diligence and get a better understanding of these new tariff rules, but that could take a long time to happen. Let me know in the comments, have you been affected by any packages not coming at all or just coming to your doorstep damaged? If so, let me know in the comments because again, these tariffs are having a huge impact on packages, the cost of living, the cost of gas, the cost of food, just everything.
Tariffs are already making money for the US government, totaling $27 billion just for the month of July so far. When tariffs were first announced, all of my sources on Wall Street agreed consumers would be paying for these tariffs. But as tariff revenue is increasing, the picture is a lot more complicated. Understanding who is paying what could help you understand what might get more expensive or even stay the same price over time as tariff policy starts to cement further. So let's get into who is paying what. Disclaimer, this is as of July 28th, and a lot of this is changing second by second, so keep that in mind as you're watching this video. The biggest payers for tariffs so far are the automakers. Motor vehicles brought in 14% of the monthly tariff revenue for the month of May, totaling over $3.4 billion. And we know from corporate earnings calls that the automakers are taking on the cost of these tariffs themselves, with companies like GM and Volkswagen both saying that they took an over $1 billion hit to revenue due to tariffs over the course of the quarter. Experts tell me the demand for cars has also softened, making it harder for these companies to pass on the cost of tariffs to consumers. Interestingly, retailers saw a small bump in tariff revenue, but my sources say that it's not clear that the consumers are paying the majority of that cost. In fact, they say that big box retailers in particular have good enough relationships with their suppliers that they've been able to negotiate with them to have the exporters pay a portion of those tariffs. My sources also tell me this is because retail supply chains are a little bit more nimble, so the exporters know that retailers could just go somewhere else to get those products, whereas for a company that works in like manufacturing, for example, they might have really intense quality controls that they have to go through to create like an airplane, for example. It's not that easy to just shift that supply chain around. You need a specific level of expertise and, again, that quality control component. Tech companies have not contributed that much to tariff revenue thus far, and that's largely because of carve-outs. If exemptions on technology tariffs change, then that could change the tariff revenue picture from tech companies. It's really hard to tell not only where tariff revenue is coming from, but who exactly is paying it. So how did I get the information in this video? Really strong interview from a supply chain expert at Michigan State University, and he had pages and pages of spreadsheets and data he walked me through that was able to compare tariff revenue, inflation data, corporate earnings, and local Fed data as well to paint a clearer picture of where tariff revenue was coming from and who exactly was paying. He also had a really important asterisk to this data, which is that a lot of companies tend to change their pricing either semi-annually or annually, and obviously the totality of tariff policy has not been figured out yet, so these prices are still subject to change. And he thinks we won't know the full impact of tariffs on costs until early 2026, January, February, March of next year. Bottom line, full clarity on tariff revenue is still unclear, but it's obvious that the automakers are taking a hit, both in terms of tariff revenue data and what we're hearing from these companies on their earnings calls. If you want more insights like this, you can sign up for my daily markets newsletter.
There's only a few ways to work around these tariffs, and some of them are not very effective, but I will share with you what I know. If you're new here, my name is Renee, and I love giving free game. If you're a business and your supply chain is from China, then you can definitely outsource to other countries that don't have FTAs, which is most likely in Africa or the Middle East. You can change the classification on some items to get a lower tariff rate. You can get things altered, and this may help. What I mean is, if you have a shirt that needs a pocket on it, and instead of putting the pocket on it in China, you take the shirts from China, you send them to a different country to get the pockets installed, and then get them shipped to America, that can possibly help you as well. But this is tricky, and you have to know the laws very well. This is basically moving the final assembly for a product to a country that has less tariffs. You used to could import them as personal goods and get an exemption, but he's trying to get rid of those. So my last read up on it is that even if your goods are under $800, which used to be an exemption, the tariffs will still apply, or they will try to apply a different type of tax, which you'll still have to pay on. So it's kind of like cancels it out. You can negotiate with suppliers and see if they'll take on some of the tariff prices with you. That's also an angle that you could kind of spin. You have to be a good negotiator for that and have been doing this for a while. Some people go through a broker because they know the proper HS codes and they can probably get you the best discount possible. Long story short, if you are a huge wholesaler and you are buying products from overseas, then you can probably save money by doing some of these things. But if you're someone like me who just wants to order some stuff online, you're probably going to have to pay a high tariff for it. That's just the honest truth. Or you could always just go to...
If you're an Amazon shopper, please stop what you're doing right now and watch this video. It is going to save you time and money. Amazon is being affected by the tariffs. Why? Because a lot of products on Amazon are coming from China, okay? It's extremely important right now that you do your due diligence when you're shopping on Amazon. I would honestly recommend only buying products that you're familiar with the price on, that you know are not coming from China, or that you've been watching the price and you're just like aware of what the traditional cost of the item is. Because right now these companies are jacking their prices up, triple and quadruple the price to avoid purchasers and to 10x cover the tariff fee that they're dealing with right now. Right now is the time to support local businesses in your community that sell whatever the item is that you're wanting to buy off Amazon. The same thing applies to TikTok right now as well. There are a lot of products that are triple or quadruple their normal price because of the tariff situation. I don't want to see you guys paying more for something, and I don't want to see the prices that they're raising them to staying there because people are willing to pay for it, okay? Be mindful.
Why did I just try to place an order on AliExpress and on Alibaba, and my total was only going to be $200 and something, and when I'm getting ready to check out, it's almost $800 because they added about $450 in taxes due to those damn tariffs. I gotta figure something out now.
August the 7th, mark this date. It's about to redefine life as we know it, and I promise you, it's going down in history. I don't know how it slipped by us, but on August the 1st, Trump signed that order. This means everyday electronics and groceries are going to cost way more. On this day, 66 countries are going to receive up to a 41% hike on tariffs. Do the research for yourself. It's all over Barron's List, AP, and Reuters. Here's an example of the type of price hike you can expect. Let's say you buy a $500 laptop that was imported. With a 41% tariff, that's an extra $205. Now that same laptop is $705 and you get no extra benefit. Now imagine those same price hikes hitting phones, electronic, auto parts, cars, groceries. Let me explain how it matters for our economy. Tariffs raise prices on goods, which in turn hurt consumers. Higher prices mean less spending and slower growth. Now, when businesses feel this pinch, they start cutting back on hiring. That's why our economy is now showing warning signs. Unemployment just rose up 4.2%. Now there's pressure to cut interest rates to stimulate the economy. From July 2024 to July 2025, there was a 36% decrease in jobs being added to the market. So imagine what the economy is going to look like this time next year after these tariffs hit. This is a risky balancing act. This means your money, your credit, and your job security will be impacted. Here's some tips to stay ahead. Cut down on unnecessary spending. Instead of ordering out, cook more at home and try shopping at your local farmers market. So follow me for more real-world tips and weekly updates on how to protect your money, your finances, and make your dollar stretch a little longer. For a list of everyday items that can be impacted by the tariffs, comment, show me the list.
All right, so how are tariffs going to impact prices on Amazon? Well, listen to this. So out of the top 10,000 products sold on Amazon, 50% come from China. And the Trump administration has implemented a tariff starting on February 4th, 2025 on China goods. So if 50% of the top 10,000 selling products on Amazon are coming from China, what does that mean? It means prices are going up across the board. And this is even crazier. 70% of all products sold on Amazon are coming out of China.